Throughout history, Paris has been a beacon of culture, innovation, and creativity, captivating the world with its timeless charm and artistic soul. And today we're going to embark on a journey and meet the visionaries shaping modern Paris. Along the way, we're going to visit iconic buildings and really try to resonate to what makes the city not just a place, but an idea that connects with dreamers, innovators, and creators from around the world. There are so many amazing buildings in the city, but now after 48 years, this one is about to embark on a brand new chapter. Since 1977, the Pompidou has been the crown jewel of modern art, not only in Paris, but around the world. And leading this transformative renovation are Moho Kusinoki architects, working alongside Frida Escobedo Studio. So both of you have this amazing new project ahead of you. I was just talking about walking around the museum, and it's such an iconic place. Now they're passing that, put it in your hands for the next chapter.
A very emotional event in my life because we grew up with this building. What the museum is, it's really come from this iconic building. We learned how it was socially open to every neighborhood, every generation.
Indeed, we definitely grew up with this museum. I mean, it's like part of our life, our daily life. Studying in Paris, it's like a place where you generally go twice or three times a year to visit the collections, so it's really like personal connection with the building.
So what's going to be the biggest challenge on your point of view? I mean, it's a big change. The museum is going to be closed for a few years. You're going to really have an opportunity to get to know the building at a level that a lot of people never see it. What are the things that perhaps you are not so much looking forward the most, but you know it's going to become a challenge ahead the process?
I think one of the challenges is how to give a new twist without breaking the DNA, without breaking what is the image of the Pompidou Center. And I think there is a very subtle balance to find, because it is an heritage of an era which is past, that embraced not only the building itself, but also an ideology an ideal of society. And I think it's very important that we preserve that heritage.
There are so many elements that makes a city what it is. People, the building, the architecture, the design, the community, everything. But here in Paris, there's one thing that shines bright, and that's football. In a city full of landmarks, here is where we can truly hear the passion of the Parisian people. From its architectural elements and point of view, the design is very bold, and it set a new standard for modern sports venue throughout Europe. So the building has a very interesting story. Why don't you share us a little bit about it?
Yes, it's a special stadium for the France, because in 1972, when we decided to create a new stadium in Paris, the Parc des Princes in French, there is no pillars. So it was the first stadium in Europe to have no pillars. So the Parc des Princes was a different stadium in Europe.
And the interesting thing that people don't know is that because the stadium was built, they decided to create a team to play it over here.
Yes. Every time they play in this stadium, it's a different stadium, because the atmosphere, because the sound, it was a very special. So for the fans, for the players, for every people who like Paris Saint-Germain, it's a very special stadium for us.
And right outside Paris, in Poissy, PSG entrusted architect Jean-Michel Roumont
and his firm to design a state-of-the-art training center, unlike anything else in Europe.
Started in 2015 in PSG. The idea was to build, as I say, the best training center in Europe, and we benchmarked with all the training centers all around the world. The idea for PSG is to get settled and work with the communities, and that's also why the site, from an architectural point of view, is built in plateau, so to represent where we are, which is the Poncy Terrace, and we got 3 plateaus from the down to the top, which means from where you start football and when you belong to the first team. So the idea was really to literally build the steps to success.
As you climb the ladder.
Exactly.
PSG's commitment to Paris goes beyond football, as they partner with Kengo Kuma for a brand new project.
Thanks so much for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
I'm so excited. The funny thing is, so I just left the training center, the PSG. It is a phenomenal place. And now they're also working on this incredible new project with you. So I just want to hear a little bit more about how it came to be and how it's coming along.
In fact, it came with a competition, a sport competition. I think the soccer team came in for an Asian tour in Asia, in Japan, and they made an exhibition match in the Olympic Stadium designed by the office, by Kuma-san. So it was the first bridge given between each others, and after they proposed us to make that amazing project, very small project, but with a real impact, social impact in the hospital Necker. So we could not say no, and we are part of the adventure right now.
You know, hospitals usually you have to really follow a lot of guidelines. There's certain things there's no way to compromise it, because at the end of the day, the main purpose is for healing the patients. In this case, we're talking about children.
Yeah.
Some of the materials or some of the choices that were made that you felt was very interesting to create this environment, not only for the kids to feel comfortable, but also to help them with the process of the treatments to get better sooner. There's a lot of studies around how environment can really affect their well-being.
Yeah, we were talking just about the nature, which is extremely important, but the way we interact with natural light is very important in the natural conscious. In that project, as you can see in the model, we are working with a translucent material for the roof. And that's also the idea, to bring the natural light really deep in the project. And natural light is also something which is a base, like a primitive need for us, and which helps to bring wellness for the people and for the child.
Next, we meet with skater and artist 8 Marvel to explore how skateboarding is influencing art and fashion.
I started skating when I was 12 and a half, and I was in 2014. My friend from my projects in Crillon had a skateboard in his yard, just like that was just a piece of garbage full of paints, and I was just starting skating with it. I was just trying to pass sidewalk, like being stable, it's just staying on the board on it. And after this, I don't know, like I just being like crazy about it. I've never been stopping doing this. Just on the social media, you were seeing that skating was increasing in terms of influence. When you I remember in 2019, Blessed from Supreme released, and this video has made so much noises. This video was so big that he was going among the skateboard circle. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, brother.
Thank
you. Appreciate it. Now we head to the Hôtel de Crillon, where Escape Room has partnered with the iconic hotel to create a unique exhibition. This collaboration merges the luxury with the raw energy of skate culture, showcasing one-of-a-kind skateboard decks created by renowned artists. And for this visit, I have a very special guest with me.
This is such a beautiful building, right?
This is incredible. So, Angers Gabriel, built in the 18th century, the vision of Louis XV.
Mm-hmm.
And then since then, layers and layers of history and French patrimonial architecture that meets contemporary times.
I'm excited. Let's go see
it.
Let's
go visit, yes. So the artist skateboards are scattered everywhere in the hotel, but with a special story each time and a special relevance to what we are doing at Hôtel de Crillon, bridging these stories with a lot of serendipities. We discovered that the skate room had already collaborated with Jules de Balancourt, and Jules de Balancourt is one of our favorite artists, and he crowns the lobby of Hôtel de Crillon with this beautiful contemporary artwork that he created by infusing a sense of Jardin des Tuileries, Jardin du Luxembourg, a garden that doesn't exist, with the powerful color of his art. And it's exactly this expression that we find on the skateboards that he collaborated with the skate room. So it's really interesting. So everywhere, as you see, there's a mix of this very chic artistry, French silhouette, French elegance, but made modern with sophisticated fabrics. So this is Marc Le Chélier, layered here on this beautiful patina. You can feel the hand touch, and the relevance between the two. But what's really interesting as well is the strong contrast. It brings that urban energy right inside the lobby, and it speaks to our time. It speaks to the energy of the city at this moment. So it's really great to feel that the walls are living and it's a canvas for artistic expression. And this time it's with the skate room. On the Karl Lagerfeld's floor, with the Karl Lagerfeld Les Grands Appartements. And this is his handwriting. I always feel so emotional when I look at that. Les Grands Appartements, this is how you call the apartments of the king in Versailles.
Wow, it really makes an impact.
Oh yes, and the idea is that you feel that Karl just left the room. So this is his perfect taste. He was a connoisseur of French 18th century, not only in fashion, but in furniture, in design, the archives, the history, the fabrics that he chose. Everything here is chosen by Karl Lagerfeld himself. The chandeliers, again, another picture. This photography is very important because this photography is inspired, this photography by Karl, that he recreated his vision of the famous painting from Menzel that he says he has fallen in love with at the age 10 or 11, back when he was living in Germany. And then he looked at this painting at the Chateau de Sanssouci, and he said, this is how life needs to be lived. The galore and the art de vivre and the finesse of French elegance. And he dedicated his entire life, to elegance, to savoir-faire, to mastering all these crafts. So the most spectacular bathroom ever, that we cannot call a bathroom.
Not quite.
It's a bath salon. So like Karl says it best, le salon des bains. This is carved from one block of Arabescato Fantastico marble, which is not quarried since 40 years. So you really buy the blocks like antique pieces in Italy. And the reason why Karl chose this, or the reason why I proposed this to Karl first, is because it looked like his sketches. It looked really like him drawing, and this marvelous, veins from nature spoke to Karl. And he loved the fact that it wasn't a bright white, but it's a milky white, and the gray is not really only gray, it's like a touch of purpley gray. So it really made the stone feel very alive, just like Karl wanted it.
Building on our visit to the exclusive Karl Lagerfeld suite, it feels only natural to explore a place that embodies the spirit of French craftsmanship and innovation. Let's take a closer look at this new building, where tradition and modern creativity seamlessly come together. This is the home of 700 artisans. The goal here is not only so much showcase their incredible work, but also to preserve this exceptional skill for the next generation.
At the end of the day, nothing beats catching up with your friends. As I stopped by to say hello to some incredible artists and designers who have made Paris their home. Well, first of all, thank you for welcoming us. So I had the chance to talk to, we had a show for this podcast not long ago, and it's like, hey, I'll be in Paris. We're going to be filming this thing throughout the city. And I would love to meet like a group of creative people from all over the place that has lived in Paris and can give a great dynamic of the city. And she's like, I got you. And here we are.
Welcome, and I'm happy to have you all and to welcome my friends too that are very often also in this place because I like to have people around me.
Miss Karl, you're interesting. You were born in LA.
Yeah.
Came to France.
Came to France when I was 10, but I was in Lyon at the time.
Okay.
So I always go through Paris when I was younger. Then went back to LA or California. Then actually I went back and forth between LA and Paris for, I don't know, maybe almost 20 years. And because my work would be in Paris, but then my art studio was in LA. And eventually I just was like, I can't deal with this commute anymore. It's killing me. And so then I got out of the circuit. I moved to Italy. And that's actually where I met Sophie and Marc. Yes.
Coming from as an outsider, do you feel it's like the city, but the community is welcoming to you?
That's where I had positive experiences, but I also have very low expectations. I don't know.
That's good.
With time, I'm more ironclad. So it's I have no expectations.
What about yours, Karl?
I mean, I'm the same. I have very low expectations. In the past, I was met with a very strong no. We are not going to let you take any part of this pie, you foreigner, that has no added value. I feel that's changed a little bit. I met with the Galerie not so long ago, and I don't think I would fit in that space, but it was the most generous conversation I had ever had with a gallerist, where I really felt he was listening. I didn't feel like I was taking up his time. Anyway, so I feel like, I don't know. Like him, I don't have any expectations.
Also, maybe I cannot speak for Karl, but I also feel like I have something to contribute. So if you come with a backpack full of tools or ideas or things, and I'm here to offer this. And if only the right people or whoever, and you would see that, would be intrigued by that. I've been able to work, I think because of COVID as well, I've been able to work in Japan and Spain, and I've been working so kind of all over the place, and I've never felt out of place. Also I'm an immigrant as well, coming from Eastern Europe, from Romania to America. I've never that identity or that I've never, if I've always known how to blend in or how to move through something.
But if I can say, it's not about being a foreigner. I think Paris is not an easy city to find your path, because I'm from here and I show with international galleries that are not in Paris. So it's not even about being a foreigner and how the city is welcoming. The community, I think, is welcoming. But I would say for the designers, like anywhere else in the world, you have to make your own way, and sometimes you make a better way from
outside in.
Yes. And even for us as French, it's not easier than for you. And I don't really.
In Italy, actually, we had a completely different vibe, in the sense that when we were working, we had like a different attitude with the interaction with the people. And so I would say Paris has a quite intense and aggressive vibe, I would say, which also gives a good dynamic, which actually in Italy, it's a bit more comfortable, but we had like maybe more, more intensity in the daily life.
So, but me, I was born in Cannes, and I always wanted, I think, to live in LA, because to just continue this this vibe. And being in Paris was kind of difficult at the beginning, because there was, I think I was very interested by having like a life where there is a chillness, like in LA, or you can surf, you can skate, you can go, and also having this activity and working at the same time. But in Paris, you don't have like this moment of stops now. But then I think I found through music and concert like the moments where I was enjoying and surfing somehow, being myself more, I would say. But it's a city that now I like much more.
Each corner we have turned, every conversation we have had, has shown us how creativity and tradition intersect in this incredible city. It is a reminder that behind every building, every piece of art, and every design is a story waiting to be told. But this is just a glimpse. Paris isn't merely a place. It's a living idea, a continuous source of inspiration, and there is so much more waiting to be discovered. How are you telling your stories? Traditional media, maybe some social, or perhaps you're open to something more interesting. This is where the creative eyes of the world are upon you. Come along.